Hi everyone, I'm Saranya. I'm a poet, I'm a writer, I'm a theater practitioner, and like I very modestly introduced myself earlier, I run the Bombay Poetry Crawl. What my biggest hope is to really connect places with poetry, because I think that we're unable to separate where we are from what we write about. Today, the theme for this TED convention is the light and the shadow. And so I wrote some poems that I think are connected with this theme, whether it's based on the color of light and shadow or the sentiment of embracing shadows and not running away from it or running towards light. I'm just going to read 3 poems for y'all. The first poem is inspired by ancient Bhakti and Sufi poetry movements. So Bhakti and Sufi poetry actually goes back centuries and originated in the subcontinent. There are 3 poets in particular whom I will be invoking in this poem. The first is Basavana, who was an 11th century Kannada Bhakti poet. The second is Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia, a Sufi poet who very famously said, Hanooz Dilli Durast, which is very famously, Dilli Abhi Dur hai. And the third poet is actually a Carnatic singer whose name is Madurai Somu. He was of the 20th century and he sang songs, devotional songs for Lord Murugan. Taking all of these together, this is my attempt to sort of come out of darkness and reach towards some sort of light, whether that is a god, a deity, or just something beyond the self. I wrote this poem when I was in San Francisco. I was studying there for 2 years. And this is all about finding that ultimate deity, that ultimate light when you're actually in travel. So it's not about reaching a destination, it's about enjoying the travel of it all. In San Francisco, the local bus system, the BSC, is called the Muni. So you just have to know that because the poem is called Navratri on the Muni. So now you know what the Muni is. Navratri on the Muni. Tired of rejecting your temporary home because denial is serious work, you stretch your arms wide and embrace the fog, stop the 31, and accept the fact that you are eating a bagel and drinking a coffee without milk. The blasphemy. Yes, this is temporary, and yes, you shouldn't be here, and yes, you came here just to leave, but you are here now. And it is Navratri, a new year. And you are still here. And exhausted after rejecting yet another temporary life, you turn the blue Muni seats into a temple of your own, a temple in transit. Things standing shall fall, but the moving ever shall stay. And you realize that Basavana was writing for you. Way before there were buses and planes and nation states and visas and passport and immigration, he was writing for you. His poetry stands for you. And even though you are far away from home, the distance is unable to take your prayer away, the one you say every time you feel alone, which has happened in every city you have stepped into, every new identity you have created, every place of worship you have built in transit. Today, bagel and coffee in hand, you mutter all 108 names from the Durga Ashtotram inside this makeshift Muni temple. And suddenly you remember doing this on the Bombay local, the Delhi Metro, the Bangalore Metro, the Chennai MTC, the Bombay BEST, the London Tube, the Vancouver Translink, the Zurich SBB. You remember the same restlessness, the same frustration of not having reached, of waiting to get home, of never really being at home for some reason, and you sing out the same song every time. Yanakavi padinalum undan manam yerengaville. You sing out, you sing to Muruga, Muruga, can you hear me? Can you hear me calling out to you? Can you see me in this Muni? Can you bring me home? Thank you. The second poem is another invocation of light. This is called, What Do I Do With Yet Another Dead Moth in My Bathroom? Outside the window, a serpentine trail of sunlight. Soft flames river their way towards our home. We are here, absent people, visible at night. I am here, an absent person, but I am still here, standing still. Still waters freeze in fear. Outside, the hate speech gets louder. Hate, I learn, is not those mobs that ash people down. No. It is the casual shrug of the unaffected. A single spark of apathy that, once lit, can burn an entire forest down. Thank you. And to end on kind of a positive note, because enough of the angry poems, this is called An Inquiry into Tenderness. For anybody who's ever struggled with, I don't know, being mean to yourself, I think that's a big problem that a lot of us face at a young age, and unfortunately that voice doesn't go away until we make it go away. So this is a poem I wrote to help the mean voice kind of shut up. It's called An Inquiry into Tenderness. Lean into a cloud caressing your cheek. Neatly fold sheets of sunlight and put them back in your grandmother's closet. Wear them as a sari on bizarre days. They will make sense. Let go of the paper on your tongue. Watch the enormous cake of words rise in the oven of night. Sneak into the pool of his voice. Who cares if it's past midnight? It's yours. Everything is yours. Take a swim. Vasigara plays. You don't owe anyone anything. You tell yourself. You keep telling yourself. You're with your best friend on top of a water tanker. Dusk is to come. Who cares how you'll climb back down? Thank you.